Chapter.
Okay, and I just want to have just a couple of announcements too. We're going to do this every Saturday, the same time, okay? I know we have exams coming up. We'll work through that, or maybe make a shorter reading next time. And I want to announce innate adjusting seminars. We're going to be at Parker, July 10th and 11th. Hopefully, I think everything should still work out for me coming to Parker. And then I'm also going to be at Sherman with innate adjusting workshops August 1st. So that should be really exciting. And then we're having BGI Melbourne, Florida again, which is going to be fantastic, November 13th and 15th. So those are the announcements, and I'm going to get started. Okay, everybody ready?
Link. Our weakest link in the chiropractic chain is the lack of chiropractors' acknowledgement, knowledge and understanding of principles and practices of innate intelligence inherent within and internal to all living creatures, regardless. Average and usual chiropractor has been thoroughly indoctrinated, tincturated, infiltrated, saturated, exposed, and vaccinated with medical concepts of external treatments of effects, symptoms, and pathologies, framing a denial of the existence of internal innate intelligence in application of life and health. He is also clothed with usual religious, something great outside and nothing but ignorance inside, with a subconscious, non-conscious, and unconscious mind. He tries to adjust vertebral subluxation for unknown reasons why, and at the same time tries to treat symptoms via innumerable medical methods, stymieing each other in attaining the ultimate. If he accomplishes what he hopes, it is in spite of knowledge of why, and not because of knowledge of why. The weakest link in our professional chiropractic ranks is the lack of consistency of an all-out, all-knowing, complete unity of understanding of the all-capability of innate to live without human-educated interference. What we have tried to do in many talks, tape recordings, lectures, and printed books is to enlarge upon the importance of a fuller understanding of innate within, in health, sickness, and restoration of health. What happens when subluxation exists? What happens when subluxation has been adjusted? What takes place as a result of interference to innate? And what innate alone can do and does once interference has been released? We have stressed explanations many ways.
Okay. Vero, you want to do your translation?
Yes.
Okay.
Capítulo 24. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Capítulo 24. El eslabón más débil. Nuestro eslabón más débil en la cadena quiropráctica es la falta de reconocimiento, conocimiento y entendimiento del quiropráctico sobre los principios y prácticas de la inteligencia innata, inerte dentro e interna en todos los seres vivos, independientemente. Un quiropráctico promedio y usual ha sido adoctrinado, teñido, infiltrado, saturado, expuesto y vacunado a fondo con conceptos médicos sobre tratamientos externos de efectos, síntomas y patologías, enmarcando la negación de la existencia de la inteligencia innata, interna en su aplicación sobre la vida y la salud. Él también está vestido con ese usual religioso, algo grande afuera y nada más que ignorancia adentro, con una mente subconsciente, no consciente e inconsciente. Él intenta ajustar la subluxación vertebral por razones desconocidas y al mismo tiempo intenta tratar los síntomas a través de innumerables métodos médicos que se obstaculizan unos con otros para alcanzar el definitivo. Si él logra lo que espera, es a pesar del conocimiento del porqué y no por el conocimiento del porqué. El eslabón más débil en los rangos de nuestra profesión quiropráctica es la falta de consistencia de un todo afuera, todo lo sabe, una unidad completa del entendimiento de toda la capacidad del innato para vivir sin una interferencia humana educada. Lo hemos tratado de hacer en muchas pláticas, grabaciones, clases y libros impresos. Lo que hemos tratado de hacer en muchas pláticas, grabaciones, clases y libros impresos es engrandecer la importancia de un entendimiento más completo del innato dentro, en la salud, enfermedad y restauración de la salud. Lo que pasa cuando una subluxación existe, lo que pasa cuando una subluxación ha sido ajustada, lo que toma lugar como resultado de una interferencia del innato y lo que el innato solo puede hacer y hace, una vez que la interferencia sea liberada. Hemos enfatizado explicaciones de muchas maneras.
Okay. Does anybody have any input on that?
¿Alguien quiere agregar?
Yeah. Edgar.
No.
Anybody? Did Edgar, you want to say something?
Yes, I have something to say.
Steven, yeah.
Is there somebody else?
Go ahead.
Okay. I think it would be a big mistake to go along with the way I was going along listening to this, as those people don't know, they're inoculated, they're outside in, rather than where in my life do I still fall into outside in thinking. One key would be anytime I'm disturbed. That would be a re-navigating on my GPS inside that says, aha, I'm probably doing just what BJ was saying. So it's not like I know it and the world needs to learn what I know. I need to fix it in me. And that's what I got from this. That's why we have slipping and checking. Thank you.
You got that, Vero?
Kind of.
What I was, if I can help her, just sort of maybe, looking at our internal and what our conversations in our head, if we're still thinking inside out with economy and all those things, that is an inside out philosophy as well. So the more innately driven we are as chiropractors, the greater clarity we can have in adjustments or chiropractic, do you think? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that it's easy to project outside in thinking on others.
Yes. Okay.
When I have to take responsibility and live it myself.
Ok. Bueno, Steven estaba comentando que estaría equivocado pensar tal vez como, o tomar lo que leímos como él al principio lo tomó, que era pensando cómo mucha gente vive con el pensamiento de afuera hacia adentro. Y más adelante se da cuenta que lo más importante más bien es pensar en sí mismo y cómo, en dónde está él parado en este momento con todo eso, ¿no? Y cómo debe de trabajar en sí mismo para, pues, dejar de pensar que lo que él sabe lo debe de conocer todo el mundo, sino más bien trabajar en lo que él está pensando, ¿no? ¿Alguien tiene algún comentario en español?
Sí.
Necesito algo porque...
Sí. Es increíble cómo la filosofía quiropráctica está incluida en las filosofías espirituales que te hablan sobre una falsa identificación con el cuerpo y una falsa identificación con la mente. Y es lo que decía Steven, cuando la gente se identifica con el cuerpo, creen que son algo externo, o cuando se identifican con la mente. Pero cuando uno se va al interior, uno puede ver que los pensamientos no son nuestros. Lo difícil para mí es cómo cambiar al mundo para que alineen su educado a su innato, porque el mundo está muy educado. Eso sería todo.
Ok, déjame ver si me acuerdo. He says he thinks it's amazing how... give me a chance. Aldo, dijiste lo primerito que se te hacía impresionante, ¿cómo qué cosa?
La quiropráctica describe, por así decirlo, como la espiritualidad en las filosofías espirituales.
Ok.
Like
How, It's amazing how chiropractic philosophy is related to other spiritual philosophies, and he says that. ¿Cuál era la segunda parte, Aldo?
I follow you. I follow you.
Y las filosofías espirituales hablan sobre la falsa identificación con el cuerpo y la mente.
The other philosophers talk about the lack of relation between the body and the mind, the connection. How it's identified between those two.
Yeah.
And it is difficult for him to try to align the innate and the educated with the world because he thinks the world is so much educated.
Well, you know, they're the educated in this last sentence before the parentheses at the end, where it says the weakest link in our professional chiropractic ranks, is the lack of consistency of an all-out, all-knowing, complete unity and understanding of innate, to live without human educated interference. Most of BJ's writing was working to separate, to help us have a consciousness to separate educated and innate, and to become more innately driven. Human nature is...
Está diciendo Haig del último párrafo del texto, que dice el eslabón más débil de los rangos de nuestra profesión quiropráctica es la falta de consistencia de un todo afuera, todo lo sabe, una unidad completa del entendimiento de toda la capacidad del innato para vivir sin una interferencia humana educada. Y bueno, que esa es la dificultad, ¿no? De separarlos, y que BJ quería como que vivamos obviamente más con la parte del innato.
I'll add a little bit more later. Let's see if everybody has some input. Anybody have anything?
I was going to say, it comes back to what Steven said, that you have to first see where you're at to be able to preach it to the world. Because if you're not certain in where you are in this inside out philosophy, then there's no way you're going to change the world, because the world's not going to listen to you because you're not certain in what you're doing. So, lo mismo que Aldo estaba diciendo, que si tú quieres cambiar el mundo, pero no puedes cambiar el mundo hasta que no estés seguro de lo que tú eres y la parte que tú haces en este inside out philosophy, que es lo que estábamos hablando en los Green Books.
That's great. Anybody else?
I also just want to agree with how Stephen was saying, how it's like a major challenge currently to, not to try to convey anyone really, and just allow it to be so palpable in the field that people just start to tune in on their own, and it's not really what we say in these times. It's just how we are, and we just got to do and keep doing things like this.
Brian comparte que es un gran desafío el tener que dejar de pensar que tenemos que convencer a los demás, y cómo ellos tienen que pues darse cuenta por su parte, ¿no? Y nosotros tenemos que seguir trabajando en la nuestra.
And that's why we're doing this, is to do the work where the old guys, instead of, we call it breaking it down. Read the philosophy, read the Green Books, and breaking it down so we can understand it. That's how we grow in all this. This is, for me, very powerful for me. And then when you're in practice, it becomes our guidebook.
Y dice que es por eso que debemos de estar leyendo, debemos estar informándonos, leyendo los libros, desglosando cada cosa, para pues ir creciendo y más adelante en nuestra práctica esta va a ser nuestra guía.
Anybody else? Junior, did you have something before? Okay. Well, I'm gonna just, what I got out of this section for me was when we try and fix people. I want to fix your back pain or fix your digestive problems or fix your heart disease, or, you know, we talk about the symptoms that chiropractic, when we're adjusted and remove a vertebral subluxation, we talk about, you know, very often related to symptoms. And if we're adjusting for the symptom, we're really doing an outside-in job, and we're coming from educated. And allowing, is that too much? You want me to pause? Okay.
Bueno, dice que para él esto lo que quiere decir es que muchas veces cuando estamos ajustando los síntomas, él pone el ejemplo de dolor de espalda, que queremos arreglar, digamos, problemas del corazón, otras enfermedades, lo estamos haciendo de afuera hacia adentro. Y es más, lo que más está trabajando, la parte que más está trabajando es el educado.
And even we see those miracles happen of beautiful changes in people when we adjust the subluxation. We didn't heal that problem. Innate did. The body healed itself. We do the adjustment and step away. I say, Sigafus used to say, we move the bone, God does the healing. So we step away. For me, that's how I work towards allowing innate to do their job instead of my educated.
Dice que, bueno, cuando presenciamos eso que es muy hermoso, que son los milagros, cuando se ayuda a una persona, pues no somos nosotros, ¿no? Sino que nosotros, como dicen, movemos el hueso, nos hacemos para atrás y dejamos
que el doctor Jim Sigafus decía eso, que nosotros movemos el hueso y que Dios hace la sanación.
Exacto. Gracias, Miguel. Y ya dejamos que fluya.
Vero, you're doing such a great job. Thank you. And thank you, Miguel. Anybody else?
I just want to say, Vero, your translation is on point.
She's doing such a great
job. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Felicidades.
Just 1 hour, so I'm kind of...
How to translate. You're doing so good.
Thank you.
Something else, Doctor. For example,
I want to piggyback on Haig. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I want to piggyback on Haig in that, and this brings in what Ryan said, and it brings in what Aldo said, is that when I look at the world or a situation or a patient that I want to fix, I'm now seeing the world broken. When I see the world as perfect and I serve it, then I want to serve it. The difference between serving and fixing is that to fix it, my head sees stuff broken. And like what Ryan was saying, when we are in that sweet spot, then we are practicing chiropractic. And when we're fixing, do you understand? When I'm fixing, I'm seeing the world as broken. Okay.
Dice que cuando él está intentando como arreglarlo, él lo está viendo como que algo está, como que el mundo está arruinado o roto. Y cuando intenta más bien, ¿cuál era la otra palabra? What was the other word that you say? I'm sorry, Stephen. When you're fixing is broken, and when you're
when you see someone as broken, like a patient or a symptom or a situation in your life that you need to fix, then you are seeing things as broken. But when you're seeing the world as an expression of innate and you are there to serve, you're seeing it whole.
Ok. Dice que cuando lo estás viendo así como que hay un problema que necesitas arreglar, lo estás viendo como si hay algo pues, roto que tienes que arreglar, pero cuando lo estás viendo como algo que puedes como hacer por ellos, lo estás viendo como un todo.
Lo que entendí fue que dijo que sí, que tenemos que arreglar nuestra mente, porque cuando arreglemos nuestra mala perspectiva de que el mundo está roto, vamos a poder ver que pues es perfecto, ¿no? Y el único subluxado era uno que veía un mundo enfermo, pero es perfecto, ¿no? No puede estar enfermo, solamente era nuestra perspectiva.
He shares with you the thought that when we fix our perception of the world, that the world is perfect, then he realizes that the subluxated or the problem was his perception.
Very good.
Dr. Haig, for example, I really love the idea of BJ said, well, we have to accept, adjust, and leave the body fix itself. I really love the idea after that, the Dr. Ghost said, find it, accept where it is, and adjust and leave alone, you know?
For me, go ahead. You want to do it in Spanish?
Yes, creo que amo la idea de DJ, ¿no? Que decía de encontrar la subluxación, después de ajustarla, dejar que funcione solo, y que me gusta más la idea del doctor González, ¿no? Que encuentres la subluxación, aceptes dónde está, ajustes y funcione solo. Porque mucha gente se enfoca mucho en lo que dice el doctor Steven, ¿no? Que tú crees que estás arreglando algo que está roto y realmente pues no eres tú, es el cuerpo. Go ahead.
The power of that statement. As I mature as a chiropractor myself, I have become more refined, and I think of that statement very often. The two of them from Gonstead is I become one with the bone. Find it, adjust it, leave it alone. I've become more mature myself over time of leave it alone. Less is more. Less is more. I'm starting to really come to an understanding better and better for myself that way. Everyone else is on their own journey. That's all I have for that.
Dice que él está de acuerdo, ¿no? En lo que dicen que hay que encontrarla, ajustarla y dejarla en paz, y es cuando él hace eso que él siente que ha madurado.
I want to hear to Dr. Carlos Sayes. Dr. Sayes, are you there?
Dime.
Me gustaría que usted diera una explicación un poquito acerca de eso. Yo sé que usted tiene mucho que aportar ahí.
Bendito, yo creo que ustedes están you are doing perfect with what you're saying. Everything is
Okay.
One thing that should I speak in Spanish or English? Hi.
Both, I suppose.
Both of you can. Speak in Spanish, and then Vero can translate, or if you want to do it.
Okay. Hay un elemento en el tema de como maestro siempre me llama la atención el tema de este mastery y de tú poder llegar a un punto donde puedes ajustar siendo uno con el paciente. Y I've always been, as a teacher, it's always been a interesting spot for me, the subject of being one with the patient and adjusting the patient as being one. And my challenge is that oftentimes the young chiropractor or the young student thinks that that's achievable from the beginning. No. Muchas veces ese punto de ser uno con el paciente durante el ajuste y poder dejar estar en una zona de innate y no estar en una zona de educada, en la zona educada, es un punto que el joven colega o el joven estudiante piensa que se consigue desde el principio. Y en mi experiencia, y tal vez es la manera que yo pienso, requiere muchísimo estudio a nivel de educado para luego, cuando lo aplicas, poder experimentar esa conexión con el paciente. That's my 3 cents worth of sharing.
Well, that's worth millions. Well, you know, that thing of really of as we mature into our service, a few years ago, I realized I'm no longer in practice. I'm in service. And as we get out of our head to do an adjustment, I find this, and it's all in my head, to allowing our innates to connect. And my friend Pasquale Sarasoli, he used to say, we share codes. We're sharing codes with every adjustment. I'm still working on what those codes are, but we're sharing something. It's not just give and take. It's a mutual bond in that adjustment.
I'd like to just mention briefly, I want to say Stephen. I don't know, Stephen Shargel. Hello, Stephen. What you said was transformational. You know, when I try to fix the patient, I'm seeing the world as being broken, and the world is not broken. There's nothing wrong with the world. Everything is perfectly aligned and in its own timing. So if we're adjusting the patient, we are just, I guess we're putting it back in line with what's already working, with what already works in the world. Thank you for sharing that. That was...
Yeah, exactly. You as chiropractor, you're the only illustrator.
Anyone have anything else to share?
I have one question. No, ¿cómo dicen? Bueno, di tú.
Si quieres, no, vete por partecitas.
Tengo una pregunta.
He has a question.
Cuando uno medita y hace más simple la vida,
and makes life simpler,
uno aprende a dirigir la energía.
¿Uno aprende a qué, perdón?
Dirigir la energía.
So you learn to guide the energy.
Cuando uno hace un impulso destructivo,
when someone makes a destructive impulse,
hacia la inteligencia innata de la otra persona,
to someone's innate intelligence,
¿esta energía afecta destructivamente o
does this energy affects destructively?
¿O pueden decir algo?
Or can you give your thoughts on that?
Anybody want to answer anything from him?
Yeah, but in Spanish, maybe.
Okay.
Sí, Aldo, lo que tratas de preguntar, que te explique él, ¿no? Que es sumamente experto, y a lo mejor Steven, doctor Selles, pero cuando en la filosofía de la quiropráctica las fuerzas universales son destructivas, entonces el ajuste es una fuerza destructiva. De hecho, la fuerza innata es destructiva, la única que es constructiva es la inteligencia innata, porque cuando tú das el ajuste, el cuerpo sabe qué hacer con ese impulso, pero sobre todo debes de tener una intención y un conocimiento previo detrás del ajuste. Por ejemplo, el doctor Selles, yo sé que hace TRT, que es una técnica sumamente estudiada, y a mí me gusta mucho que también ajusta el esfenoides. Y antes del doctor, ¿cómo se llama? Bueno, no me acuerdo del doctor Haig, que sacaron una serie incluso de eso, se consideraba que incluso esfenoides era C1, por la forma que tiene. Incluso se llega a ajustar. Entonces, a nivel del líquido cefalorraquídeo SUT, por ejemplo, se encarga de hacer que fluya ese líquido cefalorraquídeo en la extensión de la médula, tanto en la parte de la base del cráneo como en la parte del sacro. Y, por ejemplo, esa técnica de TRT me gusta mucho porque evalúa todo eso. Entonces, tu fuerza es destructiva, pero el innato es quien la convierte constructiva. I'm trying to explain the destructive force that is an universal force, and at the moment of the adjustment that you give to the patient, the innate intelligence adapt that forces to may heal the body, you know? That is what I'll try to say.
That was good.
Y añadiendo, o sea, energía. La dirección de la energía en el cuerpo. O sea, hay... Cuando uno hace una fuerza física, ya es energía, ¿no? Pero es energía física. Pero también podemos dirigir energía dentro de nuestro cuerpo. No, olvídenlo. Disculpen.
Está bien, está bien. I think he will reorganize his thoughts and he will come back later.
I think when he talked about destructive forces, that's what we talk about, being present with the person. If I'm thinking about listings in my world, or thinking about relationships or money is coming first and has to filter through the educated, innate has to filter through that in delivering the adjustment. When we're stuck and we're not present with that person. When I said, like Gonstead, being one with the bone, we're being present at that moment. There is nothing else. And that clarity, the adjustment comes through us. And very often when we're in la cabeza and everything is just, and we can't focus, then what happens? That's the energy they receive.
Above, down, inside out.
Above, down, inside out. But then it's coming from the chiropractor instead of through the chiropractor. Make sense? Is that translatable?
Yeah. Sí, dice que la energía fluye de arriba hacia abajo, de dentro hacia afuera. Entonces, que es muy importante estar presente en el momento del ajuste. O sea, la idea no es solamente estar ahí y dar una fuerza y ya, sino que el momento del ajuste es lo que hace la diferencia en todo. Entonces, la energía fluye hacia arriba hacia abajo, de dentro hacia afuera, desde el quiropráctico, pero no es del quiropráctico, sino es del universo. Por eso es de arriba hacia abajo y de dentro hacia afuera. Done.
Anybody else? We ready for the next chapter? Okay. Was there somebody?
Yeah, I just wanted to add one thing to what you were saying, and it's just real quick, that it's about being present, but there's also a component of your intention behind the adjustment. So it's the reason that some people only have a local effect with their adjustment, and because their intention is to alleviate low back pain, but you can also have a global effect with the adjustment if your intention is to have a global effect. So that whole moving energy through the body, which he was talking about, I think that comes from your intention and you being present. And you can mention that it takes time and practice of meditating and being absolute present and clear with what your intention is.
Dice que también aparte de estar presente en el momento, tiene mucho que ver la intención. Si solamente estás enfocado en, digamos, quitar el dolor de espalda, pues el efecto de tu ajuste va a ser únicamente local, pero si tienes una intención de que sea una ayuda global o en todo el cuerpo, pues entonces esta va a trascender como tal, ¿no? Dice que sí hay que trabajar mucho para poder obtener estas dos cosas, estar presente y tener la intención.
Lots of very good input. Go ahead, Miguel.
Yeah, exactly. I have a question for Isidoro Acevedo, greetings from Mexico, my friend. Well, I know that the intention is very important behind adjustment, well, for example, if you have a chiropractor and maybe a student that don't have anything behind that adjustment, I mean, the science, maybe the correct vector, the velocity, you know what I mean? And if you have a good intention, but you don't have the knowledge behind the adjustment, you can't complete the adjustment. You know what I mean? And exactly. I know that in is maybe a little cute in the moment, in the momentum, but I really believe that some chiropractors don't know how to, any listings, anything about chiropractic. I don't know if the question is good for you.
I would disagree, because I've gone to different offices and I've seen people do adjustments that I wouldn't consider to be the most artful adjustment or the cleanest adjustment, or their line of drive goes against everything that I was taught in school, and yet they still get amazing results because they're absolutely present in that moment and their intention is clear. But I do know that I see the value in training, because I'm somebody that trains every day for a minimum of an hour a day to build my speed, to build my power and intensity behind the adjustment. But I've seen it. Like I've just seen people that, and I've also palpated and gotten a listing, but felt innate tell me to adjust somewhere else. And even though everything in school tells me to adjust one place, I listen to innate and the patient gets better. So I think there's a little bit of both.
Okay, exactly. Okay, I got it. Sí, bueno, está tratando, yo le pregunté cuando en ocasiones pues no tienes conocimiento detrás, ¿no? De listados y cosas así, y entonces sí hay una intención detrás, pero pues que si no tienes conocimiento, yo fue lo que le dije, ¿no? No puedes ajustar, y él comenta que él no está de acuerdo, porque en ocasiones estar presente, el hecho a lo mejor de que tú no domines una técnica, pero que tu intención sea buena, es que él ha visto mucha gente así que ha mejorado. Entonces, por ejemplo, uno de sus comentarios rápidos, yo he visto quiroprácticos muy exitosos que al inicio de su carrera no sabían ni qué estaban haciendo, ni qué era una subluxación, y sin embargo su intención era buena y crecieron su consulta sumamente fuerte. Entonces, thank you. So,
Gracias.
A lot of good stuff, a lot of good input. Stephen, go ahead.
I probably spent most of my chiropractic career trying to find faith and confidence in the technique. And I've taken a lot of techniques, and I hung out with some of the greatest and the originators of the technique. I never got confidence from the technique. And I won't mention names, but one of these big heavy hitters, I went to his office, and his very inline x-ray machine was wobbly. It was the very machine that I rejected when I took the upper cervical specific work. So what I'm saying is that the technique that works is they all work. You got to get a technique that you feel confident in, and it's confidence in innate that allows those amazing days, not the technique. That's my experience. Some people have to be on their technique road, but not for me.
Steven comenta que, bueno, él ha tenido a lo largo de su carrera, ha pasado mucho tiempo tratando de encontrar como la confianza y la fe para poder hacer los ajustes, ¿no? Ha tomado varias técnicas, pero dice que él comenta que ha tomado muchísimas técnicas de los originadores de estas técnicas o los que la crearon, y que aún así nunca llegó a esa confianza, ¿no? Entonces, él dice que no es tanto como qué técnica vas a usar, sino tener la confianza en el innato para poder hacerlo pues de la mejor manera. Y bueno, él hace referencia en elegir la técnica con la que más sientas esa confianza, porque esa es la parte importante.
Dr. Steven, which technique do you use in your practice?
You asking me?
Yeah, exactly.
Chargel technique. I used to take more x-rays, and I would write down the listings of the atlas. You know, here's what happened. It's a true story. There was 2,000 years ago, there was this blind guy, and Jesus Christ came put some mud and spit on the guy's eyes. That was his technique. So everybody went to that mud pile and that spit pile, and they started bottling it and selling it, thinking that it's the mud and the spit. The majority of the people thought it was the mud and the spit. Jesus didn't heal the blind guy from the mud and the spit. The mud and the spit was for the patient, not for Jesus. So it wasn't the mud and the spit. It's not the technique. For me, I would never poke a hole. Somebody who's like...
Let her translate a little bit.
Thank you. Está haciendo referencia, bueno, le pregunta a Miguel a Steven que cuál es la técnica que él usa y él dice short gel technique, o sea, la técnica de él mismo, y da un ejemplo, ¿no? Y dice, bueno, y da un ejemplo de una historia de verdad que pasó hace 2000 años y dice que hace 2000 años Jesús sanó a un hombre ciego poniéndole lodo en los ojos y saliva, y entonces dice que todo el mundo entonces va a la parte donde estaba ese lodo y piensa que eso es lo que los está curando, ¿no? Pero realmente ese lodo era solamente para la parte de la persona ciega o la persona enferma, pero realmente el poder venía de Jesús. Jesús no necesitaba ese lodo.
I would never tell somebody who uses mud and spit that it doesn't work.
So just an idea, just about technique itself. A technique is an individual that had great success and they put it in a pattern where you can write it down and then teach it. Their success didn't come from the technique. What the success came from was clearing, allowing innate to do its job without interference.
Dice que las técnicas están ahí como para poder aprenderlas, escribirlas, ¿no? Pero realmente las técnicas fueron hechas para lograr que el innato haga su trabajo.
And then as we work on, when we're earlier in practice, setting intentions, my intention is someone to heal. As we work harder at clearing our own mind and being a clear and hollow vessel, my intention, I'm no longer pressing it on someone else. I'm allowing innate to flow through and that body, that innate to do its job the way it's meant to be and leaving my educated out of it. Even setting an intention comes from educated.
Comenta cómo trabaja para ser únicamente como un recipiente para poder obtener pues la información, ¿no? Y poder transferirla hacia el paciente y dejar que el innato haga su trabajo.
So we just spent, go ahead, Steve.
I was just thinking, the ego will come in now and go, oh, now I've got to become some sort of like Jesus-like. My consciousness has to become pure. Now I have to be the pure channel in order for my adjustment to work. And then now the ego comes in and says, I'm responsible for being clear. And that just makes me tight. And it's funny because the ego will always come in and try to take the job of innate. And the whole thing is just relax and have trust. Learn your technique, because sometimes I rely on the numbers more than others. Sometimes I go back to that listing. So the key is relax, trust. And God sends you the patients that you can help.
Yeah, exactly. Ego is shit.
But well, we gotta use it. I think
what?
also the side of
Go ahead, Ryan.
just like every artist has to learn techniques with the paintbrushes. So like, yeah, techniques, like we need techniques because it's a part of the visualization. And that's like, and that feeds the educated mind, and feeds the ego. And my guitar teacher was saying like the monkey brain. So sometimes you just gotta like give the monkey something to do. So with all of the educated, we feed the monkey to a point where you and the monkey work together in the state of visualization, and how Arno says the adjustment's 90% visualization. So, I mean, the art, philosophy, art, science, it's not philosophy, technique, science. That's not chiropractic. So, we learn all these techniques, but then we're the artist. Let's use the paintbrush in all different sizes and whatever Bob Ross technique or whatever technique, create, express.
Estaba diciendo Ryan o hace una... bueno, primero Steven estaba diciendo cómo el ego siempre quiere ser como el responsable, ¿no? Y sobre lo que hablábamos hace un momento es como gracioso que el ego tal vez dice como, ok, ahora yo soy el responsable de ser puro para que pues todo esto pueda pasar. Y dice que realmente lo importante es relajarse y tener confianza. Da un comentario también de que, bueno, Dios es el que envió a los pacientes para que sean ayudados por ti. Después de eso, Ryan hace un ejemplo de cómo un artista, alguien que pinta, usa las diferentes herramientas que tiene. En el caso de nosotros serían las técnicas, cómo puede usar pinceles pequeños, pinceles grandes y bueno, crear diferentes cosas, ¿no? Y dice cómo hay que darle como algo al educado, perdón, el educado tiene que darle algo al innato, ¿no? Le provee de algo para que éste pueda, pues, hacer su labor. Y bueno, dice que hay que recordar, como Arno dice, que el ajuste es 90% de visualización.
So we did something absolutely wonderful. We created history right now. Everyone on this is the 1% of chiropractic, and this is absolutely beautiful. We're worldwide and all over the country right now. So we've just done an hour on a short page. I'll let you catch up, and then I'll do some more. We're going to end for today. You want to go, Vero?
Dice que hemos hecho historia. Estamos ahorita, bueno, personas de todo el mundo y en su mayor, en varias partes, creo, de Estados Unidos. Dice que hemos hecho una hora estamos platicando una hora de un capítulo pues pequeño y nos va a dar la oportunidad de tomarlo y meditarlo.
We'll save chapter 25 for next time, okay? Because we've just done basically an hour, and that was just beautiful. We just broke down BJ's philosophy, the philosophy of chiropractic. We all have little bits and great input. This was beautiful. We'll do it again next Saturday.
Dice que estuvo muy bonito, que desglosamos un capítulo completo del libro de BJ, que vamos a hacerlo nuevamente el próximo sábado. Al principio de la llamada también hizo referencia en que vamos a estar todos los sábados, y aunque sabe que para varios de nosotros estamos en exámenes la próxima semana, vamos a tratar de hacer aunque sea algo cortito, entonces para que estén al pendiente.
And we're going to pick...
Muy buenos comentarios por parte de todos.
So everybody, that went really, really well. Is there any last things people want to express before we end today?
¿Algo más que alguien quiera agregar antes de terminar hoy?
Yeah, me, Johan. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for sharing all your experience. Thank you, Dr. Steven, Ryan, to everyone here. We are a big family, we care family, you know. So thank you for all.
De nada, gracias, all of it. It's beautiful. It's awesome. So I want to thank everybody. Alexandra, I hope I see you soon. I'll go through my announcements again. July 11th. Parker, I want that to work out for us. Woohoo! We're going to have innate adjusting workshops with me.
Yes.
Also, Sherman, August 1st. That should still come in. And then BGI 1, we're going to do in Melbourne again, November 13th and 15th. So, and then we're going to do this every Saturday, okay, until we get through something. But, you know, when we're home, we're on lockdown. I want to get to D.D. Palmer's book, 1910. This weekend, I'm sending all the D.D. books out to the people that were at Campamento.
Yeah, thank you, Doctor.
Dijo que vamos a estar haciendo esto todos los sábados, que él quiere lograr llegar al libro de 1910, el quiropráctico, pues, y que este fin de semana va a enviar el libro en español traducido a todos los que estuvimos en el campamento hace un mes.
Okay. I'll see you all next week. Ciao.
Bye.
Love y'all.
Bye-bye.
Gracias.
De nada, de nada. Gracias.